Hello and welcome to today's New Horizons webinar, Home Office Home. How to bring more homeliness into the offices and how work takes place its way at home. My name is Pahnke and I'm Product Manager at Sedus. How do we work today? What challenges are there for working from home and what solutions exist for the employer? We will answer these and a lot of more exciting questions during today's webinar. Next to me, I would like to welcome Angela Bartelmess, Head of Product Management, Seating Furniture, and Rosa Bräutigam, Co-founder and COO of nuwo. Together, we will guide you through individual furnishing concepts all around the topic of bringing more homeliness into the office and home office. You can also be part of this webinar. Use the question function in Vimeo and ask us your questions. We will be able to answer a few of them live in this webcast, but don't worry, at the end of this webinar, we will have a lot of more information to share with you. Lisa, Angela, I think you are ready. We will meet again soon.
See you later.
Coziness is also finding its way into the office, turning office spaces into special places. A rich variety of colors, fabrics and surfaces can be used to create an environment that, together with a range of furniture and furnishings, offers a pleasant atmosphere and a sense of well-being. The use of colors in an office environment play an important role in creating a positive mood, which is crucial for people to work together effectively. This is why color choices are an essential tool when it comes to supporting different work styles and modes. Colors promote a sense of freedom, openness, as well as security and safety. They evoke emotion, creativity, and happiness. We can distinguish between the following theses: the human office, a flexible office, and the cozy office. And you see this behind me with our shown color worlds: smart balance, urban living, soft being, and multi-creation. And these colors also will be a part of this webinar soon. Due to the pandemic, the home office has become an integral part in our today's working life and allows different degrees of design. The highest degree of self-determination is the so-called workation, working where other people go on holiday, for example, in a nice hotel on the Canary Islands or here with us in the Blackwood Forest. Of course, this is not a thing for everyone, because the majority of people work in home office, or as we call it in Germany as well, mobile working. But how can you harmoniously integrate today's working life to your at home and thus promote a sense of well-being at work? For this to happen, we need to understand what are the challenges of working from home and what a workplace you need at home. And that's exactly what we are looking at now, because the most homely office is still at home. Stage direction, please start the movie.
Chance. How a home office ideally should be planned, we are now having a look on in 4 different settings. What you should consider and with which tips you can improve your web meetings. When speaking to home office workers, one becomes very clear. The demands of your home office are subordinate to the demands at home. At home, you want to feel cozy, comfortable, and you do not want to be reminded for work once it's done. How your home office setup is being equipped is very depending on the available space. I invite you now to sneak into Suzanne's apartment with me. Suzanne is 27 years old and she just graduated from high school and started her first job. As she is living in Munich now, housing is a very expensive commodity. That's why she decided to live in a shared apartment. Now she has 20 square meters and she wants to integrate the home office setting in here. She has high demands at her home office setup. It should be design-oriented, it should fit to her interior style. She wants to upgrade from study life. And it should be tiny, it should fit between bed and closet. And when work is done, it should not remind her for work. That's why Suzanne's partners in crime is the Secretary Home and the On-Spot Cozy. With the design reduced to the essentials, it fits perfectly into her interior, and with the organically shaped tabletop, as well as the organically shaped chair, it fits in very harmoniously into interior, and she can also adapt with colors, as the Secretary Home and the On-Spot Cozy are available in various colors, dimensions, and fabrics as well. And everything comes in tiny dimensions. With only 80 centimeters in width, the Secretary Home fits between bed and closet. The shelf is embedded by an all-embracing panel made out of PET material, which is 100% recycled. You can use it as a pinboard, but it has also a visual context behind that. It lifts the design of Secretary Home to a next level, as it reminds you of a formal secretary. Speaking about the shelf, it has also different roles. For once, you can decorate it like you want, but it has also a visual and ergonomic purpose behind that, and I will show it to you now. When working at home, our workday is dictated by web meetings, and we most likely have the camera on. So when we place the laptop on the shelf, we have a flattering appearance in the camera angle, and we look very self-prominent in the webcast. But there's also a less vain and more ergonomic sense behind that. When I'm placing the laptop on the table board, I slightly look down all the time and I tension those neck muscles. If I work with an external keyboard and place it on the shelf, I have a very natural posture and I relax those muscles. Suzanne opted for an On-Spot Cozy, a super soft upholstered club chair, which comes in an ergonomic shape. It is also height adjustable. With its rounded armrests, it fits perfectly underneath the table once work is done, and it disappears from the setting as well. So the setup is almost like a chameleon with two outfits, working and relaxing. You know, 20 square meters are not much. So also in home offices, we tend to stay in one posture all of the time, which is definitely not ergonomic. Therefore, I would recommend Suzanne to also work from the bed sometimes, or to train to stand up when taking a phone call and walk around. She just started work, so she won't have that many home office days yet. But if home office happens on a regular basis, I would go for a fully equipped ergonomic task chair. My choice is C-Motion Net. With its wide opening angle, the height-adjustable armrests, as well as the generously formed backrest, it has all functions you need in your home office. Also, the knitted membrane reminds you of a homey, cozy product, which is embedded in a very fluent design language. So it's an optimal choice for Suzanne and for her expectations in her home office. Suzanne has 20 meters only to live, work, and sleep. But what happens if we have more space? Jan, do you have a solution?
Yes, of course, Angela, because now we are in the exactly opposite of Susan. We're with Julie. Julie is 43 years old and a self-employed insurance marketer and lives in the rural area and has got an own room for working of 15 square meters. For Julie, it's particularly important to separate working from living, because on the one hand, she has confidential client data, and on the other hand, she needs a place for retreat with absolute silence. Because Julie is working in a classic home office, she decided for an electromotoric height-adjustable desk, the Sedus Home, in order to combine ergonomic work and stylish furnishings. Thanks to its height adjustment of 650 to 1280 millimeters, she can always set the height exactly right, regardless whether she works barefoot, with slippers, or even with real shoes. In addition to that, you can find an old friend, the polyester fleece element with a matching shelf element, to be the hero of your next webcasts or web meetings, or in order to integrate it perfectly into your home environment. Since Julie sits for the extensive work time at home and she is the only user of the chair, it is particularly important that the chair can be adjusted to her own needs by using the mechanics to lean back as well. So this keeps Julie always in balance, and this is very good for her spine. This loosens the back and the neck muscles, and therefore she's always in balance. And at the end of the day, her head is very free, so she's not. How can I say it? It's very easy to use, so no problem with working. As a second option, she decided for a C-fit, a sit-standing stool element, which is easy to use, to sit on, for example, during the telephone calls or during the presentations. And the target is clear again. It is changing postures throughout the day. Angela, are you in the next home already?
I am. With Julie and Suzanne, we have shown very radical approaches how to integrate the home office into your home. But there are also other needs that are dictating where I want to do my home office at. Do you want to follow me to Anna's? Anna is 47 years old and she's living in a house. She loves her living room. She likes the light there, she likes the setup, and she decided that she wants to work there and not in a working room whatsoever. So Anna has also high demands on her home office. It should be very high in design. It should be not so prominent, because, you know, in the living room you celebrate with guests, and nothing worse than guests asking how is work doing. And it should blend in very harmoniously in regards to the color scheme, because Anna is very proud of her color scheme. She wants to relax there, and that's why she opted for Sedus products. At first, she started working at home once a week. She did it from the dining table with a task chair. She came along very well in the home office, and she decided to work there more often. And that's why she went with a height adjustable table to just bring even more ergonomics in her workday and to be even more healthy when working. The table here, as you can see, is placed against the wall. That's the most simple way to place a table in the room, obviously. But C-Desk Home and Secretary Home offer something different because of the symmetrical frame, and also the possibility that you can get rid of this shelf. You can play with the table and it can flexibly adjust to your needs. And how that could look, we're now looking at in more detail. You can use gangways between rooms, for example, to place your home office. So this is a niche between the kitchen and the living room. And it's perfectly fitted for the Secretary Home and its dimensions. But you could also play a bit with the structure of your room. So here we see the Sedus home, but it's not placed against the wall. As you can see, there's a bit air between the table and the wall. That gives some air to the setup and seems to be more generous. And remember, it's a height adjustable table, so you can also go with a standing aid, for example, than just only for a task chair. Last but not least, you can have some kind of zoning effect as well. So if you place the table in the middle of a huge room, you can zone different apartments. So you can have here the living room on the right side and, for example, the dining area at the left side. Believe it or not, but home office is going on for almost a year now, and we have heard several tips. Dress up like you're going to the office, have a structured workday, or set concrete goals in order to do not work too much. But there are also other tips that help you to improve your web meetings, and let me tell them to you. So when I'm in the office, you know, I can just see, there's my colleague, and I can grab him and go for a drink, for a coffee with him. I can have a chit-chat, or I can have informal status updates on project. But in the home office, actually, there's my dog and nobody else. So what could I do? For once, there is this kind of radio discipline in the web meetings. Nobody really feels very comfortable with that. So you could work with icebreakers at the beginning of a meeting or at the end that loosen up the atmosphere a little bit and also integrates everybody. And you should just look that everybody will answer and that it isn't too cramped, the situation. In remotely working teams, not everybody knows what the individual is working on. So you could work with status updates, for example, to receive input from more introverted colleagues, for example, and therefore you can update everybody at the same time. Bosses and employees should have a very close contact, that you find out your challenges and those in-between tones rather sooner than later. You should be careful that it doesn't come around like an official employee dialogue. It should be cool and easy. Just grab a coffee and have a phone call, for example. My last tip, and it's probably the most radical, is to have a virtual break room. So you can just hop in and have a break with whoever is in that room as well. You can even have lunch together if you want. Some of you will say, oh, that's a bit too drastic for me, but please remember that people who are living alone, they do not have anybody to talk to during their workday. So maybe that's a solution for you as well. In short, small talk is a super key element in our workdays, and it should not be underestimated. It's the cement in our company, and we should really have an eye on that. Yeah, we have been in the dining room, we have been in the workroom, we have been in a shared apartment. I missed the kitchen. Jan, do you have a solution?
Of course, Angela, because now we are really at the last stage in the kitchen, because we are now in a room that has to be used in several times, because we are with Tobias. Tobias is 21 years old and lives in Frankfurt. And he studies to become a certified public accountant. On top of that, he's working in part-time as well. For Tobias, cooking, working and living needs to take place at one place because he has got a living dining area of 15 square meters. And his pain is to work stylishly throughout the day while standing or sitting. So why do not combine everything and work ergonomically at the same time? And that's exactly what is possible with the Sealab High Desk. The Sealab High Desk is a standing table which, thanks to its clever choice of colors, integrate perfectly into the living apartment as well as in the offices. Thanks to its compact desktop dimensions, you will always find the right place for it to be stored away. Afterwards, you can roll it away due to its equipment with the casters. And while standing, it is equipped with an all-around foot rail to comfortably rest your foot while standing, again to push the ergonomic factor. As it's often seen in kitchens, Tobias has also added bar stools. In this case, the C-spot stools. I will take them for you that you can see it in the full dimension. Here we are. One thing is particularly important with the C-spot stool. The design follows the body. Thanks to its curvature and the seating pan, the backrest always gets the best support you need as well as you feel comfortable with it. So it's an easy way of working in standing or sitting, and it's very easy to handle because it's very light and it's perfectly integrates into your home scenario. But is there any possibility to be a bit more mobile? Yes, it is, because as an alternative, the C Assist is the right choice. It's a lift table on casters that can easily be stored away afterwards, for example, for preparing dinner or breakfast with friends, and also use it as a working table at home with a matching swivel chair, for example, the C-Motion Net or the C-Flex. Thanks to its gas spring-operated height adjustment from 740 to 1,180 millimeters, Tobias gets a very fast, intuitive, and powerless way to change his posture throughout the day. Our discussions with our employers and our customers say that also the companies are a bit afraid of how can they support their employees at home, and what are the costs, what is the legal term, and what is all around, everything on top of that. Therefore, you can see in the back, Lisa is already ready because she and nuwo found a very, very easy and uncomplicated way to handle this topic. And Lisa, I'm really, I don't know what to say anymore. So I would say, let's give it a call. Show us what you got.
Thank you, Jan, for the lovely intro. I'm ready now. Hi, I'm Lisa and I'm from nuwo. How does nuwo support your company to solve those problems? We take care of everything. Order management, financial model, tax savings. We make it easy for you. We offer an intelligent leasing model to equip your employees at home with office furniture. But let's start with a number. 96% of all employees worldwide don't want to return to their office full-time, even after COVID. What does this mean for the future of work? Companies will have to rethink in order to survive the war for talents. Hybrid forms of work are the current status quo and definitely here to stay. We at nuwo represent this new world and pave the way for quality time in an agile and communicative office and the productive working time from home in a proper equipped home office. Unfortunately, companies are still far away from this vision, as latest statistics reveal. 2 in 3 suffer from headaches and back pain caused by poor or improper equipment at home. We have the solution for this problem. We offer home office as a service. With nuwo, companies equip their employees quickly, safely, and as well cash flow optimized at home, with a home office that not only meets all ergonomic standards, but is also stylish, as we've seen so nicely recently. Those who switch from the couch or the bed to a proper setup experience this upgrade as a game changer for their productivity and, above all, their motivation. This is exactly our mission, together with Sedus, to make employees at home happy and healthy with certified as well as stylish furniture. And this is how nuwo for Sedus works. Everything starts with a specially developed webshop solution, branded to your company and with a curated product selection. Our products are not only ergonomically and sustainably produced, but also, as you have already seen, customizable to perfectly fit in your home. In addition, as I already said, there is a clever leasing model with flexible terms to make the equipment for employees and employers as easy and cash flow optimized as possible. All processes are handled digitally and run on our platform. For you, this means in only 5 steps to an individual home office solution for you and your employees. Step 1, selection. Choose your favorites from nuwo for Sedus. Step 2, check out. Add your desired products to your cart and send your order for approval. Step 3, approval. Your setup will be ordered. And step 4, assembly. One of our premium partners in our region will contact you with the delivery date and assemble your new setup for you in your home space directly. What's next? Enjoy your new home office. It's never been easier to make your employees happy and healthy than with nuwo.
That's my keyword. I want to make you happy as well. You know, it's very important to dress up like you go to the office. Nobody said something about shoes.
I will join.
I've brought coffee, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we are almost at the end of our webcast, but I think there are many questions in the question section. So first things first, ladies first. Thank you
so much.
Thank you very much.
Jan. And that's fine. Okay, let me see. Okay. Just need to register. Okay. Just give me a sec. I need to register in the chat. No worries. I will be right back to you. Now I see the questions. Perfect. Nice. So, okay, there are plenty of compliments. Thank you guys for those.
Exciting.
Yes, and I just need to check once. What is the name of the chair, the gray one? I think you mean the C-Motion Net, if it's the task chair, or On-Spot Cozy, if you mean the club chair. There's a question on the weight on the C-Spot. The C-Spot is available up to 110 kilograms. There's Farid who already answered that. Okay, hi Farid. Lisa, there's a question for you.
Yeah.
So who covers the cost? The company or the worker?
Actually, the employer can decide whether he wants to subsidize or not. So in the perfect situation, they split the costs.
Okay. Then there's a question on dimensions. Jan?
Yes, talking about the dimension, let's start with the secretary home. Starting from the very minimal way of dimensions with 800 by 600 millimeters up to 1000 times 600 millimeters. And we have a big one as well with 1200 millimeters in width and in the depth of 600, 700 and 800 millimeters. With the C-Desk home, we started with 1200 by 700 millimeters. It's the optimal place at home to work with. So you can see with all these dimensions, you will always find the right setup for your home.
There's another question for Lisa. Nuwo, is it also available abroad or just in Germany?
We started in Germany, actually, but we are planning a rollout. Because it's a solution which is not only needed in Germany.
You're so right. Then there's one last question. What chair shall I take? Yeah, that's actually a good question. That is depending on your setup at home, to be honest. If it's just you who is sitting on the chair, I would go for an individual adjustment of the mechanism, just because you can really set up it to your personal needs and to your personal preferences. If there's somebody else working on the chair as well, of course, an individual adjustment is also possible, of course, but every time there's a user changer, there's adjustment involved. So I would go for a weight reactive mechanism. In that case, I would also recommend height adjustable armrests, and everything else is just up to you. And I'm very confident that you will find a chair within the Sedus portfolio. Are there any more questions? I don't see any more. I think we have answered all of them. If you do have any questions, feel free to email us. We will answer that in the FAQ section. Thank you that you joined us today. We had plenty of fun with you, and I hope to see you all soon. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.